Hello viewers and welcome to another, not Empire Total War, but Rome Total War 2 multiplayer battle. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Averni battle versus the Roman legions over here. And I've kind of titled this video as the German Guard versus the Praetorian Guard, which isn't necessarily particularly correct, but I felt like it was quite a appropriate title, seeing as how this player has decided to really use rather not small, but rather elite core of the Roman army, using the Praetorian Guard, which is some of the best troops inside the game, and the Praetorian cavalry, which is likewise some of the best stuff inside the game. And what I kind of did here with the naming is that just a quick little historical brief on Rome. Rome before or after the Praetorian Guard, I believe they had another elite guard corps for the emperor called the German Guard, and as the name kind of implies, it was manned by the Germans. Well, we're playing as the Celts today, so not necessarily Germanic, but still a barbarian victory over the Praetorian Guards. Just a little bit of spoilers, and I felt like that was quite an accomplishment, seeing as how currently the Praetorian only build is another thing that's quite wonky and that's quite hotly debated as whether or not it is overpowered or not. So what I've done now is that I've assembled our troops like this. We're using a heavy melee line with a lot of swords, a lot of dogs, or rather 2 dogs for their 2 archers. I usually bring in 2 dogs to deal with the archers, seeing as how the dogs are so effective, and they'll typically be slightly over the price of the archers by about 50 units worth, but they're still pretty deadly. So I've brought some dogs to help us out here, and this is our main line. Our core is made out of 4 different types of troops. We have the oath-sworn heavy infantry on the sides of our flanks. This is including our general unit as well, so these guys have decent melee attack at 53, weapon damage is huge, and charge bonus is huge for infantry at 60 and 45 respectively, while the Praetorians over here actually, let me see if I can find them from a range. They have 79, 55, and 17, so if we do charge the Praetorian Guard with our Oath-Sworn, we do have a good chance at meeting them even onto the field for a few minutes. And in our center column here, we have some of these naked warriors. The Oath-Sworn are right around the 900 coins mark to buy a squad of them. The naked warriors are around the 500 mark, and if you see here, the difference between the stats aren't that different in the weapon damage and the charge bonus and the morale too. It's mainly the armor and the weapon attack, the melee attack. So if you do use these guys in charges, they are fairly effective. These are charge heavy infantry, and my opponent here has been playing a back roll right here. So I'm going to move my forces to meet them. Again, a little tip to help you guys out: if you grab 2 infantry squads, put them along with your cavalry. So, for example, over here, I'm advancing naked warriors through the terrain, seeking out enemy cav over here, while keeping my light horses, which are decent cav. They have decent charge, decent melee, decent weapon damage. They're just average cav, multi-use cav. Pretty much. They're not great for charging, not great for fighting, but decent overall, right? So I'm keeping them on the side, and I'm moving, I'm trying to move my naked warriors over here to really cover the flanks and really see where the enemy cavalry is, and if they, assuming that they do have cavalry, that's the thing. At this point I wasn't too sure about that, because they did buy quite a lot of heavy Praetorian Guard infantry, which are quite expensive, so I don't really know what I was anticipating there. So just to be sorry, we can use these troops as flanking attackers too, so the opportunity cost for screening your flanks with infantry isn't actually all too much if you think about it. The opportunity cost is actually very low, simply because you also get the flank security when you're sending a squad of troops around the flanks, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I have to watch the forests over here. I see there's no, there can't possibly be any troops over here, so I'm just going to rush my my naked warriors into this area and check that out. And likewise, I'm getting these guys to check out these forests too. So our guys have a few different abilities. I don't know if you can see the little unit cards perfectly well, the bottom icons next to the little videotape button, but our Celtic troops have two very notable abilities. One is Frenzy and one is Headhunt. Headhunt is only available for the Oathsworn, but Frenzy gives us a charging bonus to our troops, making their charges even more lethal. So you really have to be offensive with these Naked Warriors and these Oathsworn. What you want to do is that you want to burst that Frenzy before you actually enter the enemy's lines, so that you do gain the maximum of that charge bonus, and you want to do that Headhunt after you're into the battle to get the melee attack bonus. So I spot the enemies' Praetorian cavalry over here, and because these Naked Warriors have the shield brace ability, I'm trying to brace ourselves for this charge. In retrospect, I'm not really sure if this is the good decision, but you know what? I won the battle after all. It's alright. These guys are fairly expendable. So after I encountered the Praetorian cavalry, our Naked Warriors aren't going to last very long against these guys, just simply because of how elite the Praetorians are. Statistically, comparing both of these units, the Praetorian beat us in attack by a few points, and they beat us by defense by a lot. So we're really dependent on our cavalry coming from the flanks over here. Our cavalry actually have a charging ability that I didn't get in perfectly well, but we were able to do quite some damage onto their Praetorian cav. Actually, not really that much, but we were able to lock them up. So while that's happening, I'm going to detach some of these Oathsworn heavy infantry to help them out here. For these cav-on-cav fights, if you know you have the lesser two of the cav, you gotta get your infantry into that fight no matter what. Our opponents have some Syrian archer auxiliaries, gotta send in those dogs. Those dogs rip these people up, those dogs really rip up ranged units, so we're sending them in. And like I said, very little opportunity cost on the side here, so I'm going to grab those Naked Warriors on this flank. Didn't see any cavalry, so I send them in over here. Do the little Frenzy just before the charge finishes for that extra little bit. Send them in, and likewise that happens all around the flank, all around the battlefield really. Really trying to get my troops, micromanaging them, sending them in one at a time, getting in that Frenzy wherever I can, wherever I have the time really to do so. I see that they have some more Praetorian cav over here, so there was this gap inside the enemy's lines. We're going to exploit that, go for the cavalry, and that's kind of what had happened here. So let's take a look at the overview for the match so far. Over here, it looks like our light horse and our Naked Warriors were broken, leaving our Oathsworn heavy infantry into the fight. When you enable the Headhunt ability, you actually gain a slight morale bonus. So these Oathsworn are able to last inside combat for quite a long time if you pace them with its Headhunt ability. So we're keeping up with the Praetorian cavalry over here, and we're really locking them up. At this stage of the battle, I wasn't really sure who was winning, who was losing, but in retrospect, I think this battle was more about committing to a fight, but doing so smartly and doing it piecewise. And what I mean by that is I want to defeat the Romans in detail. I want to defeat one squad, one cohort of those Praetorians, move on to another one, defeats that one, move on to another one, and you'll see here that I think the fighting really turned into our favor, because we had this cluster of fighting over here, and the Oathsworn keeping the enemy at bay over there. So yeah, just an absolute brawl on the ground over here. I was trying to flank the Romans as much as possible, but there really just wasn't that many good opportunities there. However, I do believe we were able to flank one of the groups, the one over there, pretty well. And yeah, things kind of devolved into a brawl. At this point, I felt like I was kind of losing, but just going off of the balance of power value, it actually said that I was winning, which is kind of odd. Let's see what's happening over here. So yeah, our Oathsworn really getting it in with the cav. These Oathsworn guys are able to compare with these Sochi cavalry, but against the Praetorians, again, I have my delts. Using that Headhunt, though, we're able to keep them into the fight for a very rather long period of time, so we did. Over here, I'm not really sure. I think, again, the replays aren't 100% accurate, simply because these are recreations of the battle using two AI opponents. So yeah, these battles may not turn out perfectly, but we were able to break out. We were able to break one group of enemies. I do believe that's either here, or that was that group. I'm not too sure. It doesn't look like it's here. It looks like we managed to break the cav inside my battle, though. Not inside the replay, though. So we were able to defeat this little group of troops. And with that said, I was able to redirect these troops now into the fight against the Praetorians over here and the Triarii. So that was able to actually force a group onto their backside, which... Yeah, and I also have some more Naked Warriors. Some of the Naked Warriors broke away, but they did manage to come back into the fight. As soon as I gain troops who have rallied, I send them back into the fight, really. And over here, even though the Oathsworn are just outnumbered and outflanked, they're still able to last such a long time inside battle, especially with their headhunt ability. You can really depend on them to keep the opponent busy for quite some time, so that's what we've kind of done here. At this point, I don't really remember perfectly. Naked Warriors keeping the fighting real, keeping it going, but these guys aren't probably going to last very long against these Praetorians, assuming that their reinforcements get here. So now, at this time, I mean, we're starting to break some of their lines, and as soon as their armies are defeated over here, I can then kind of ball up my troops and then get them to move forward a little bit more. Inside the game that I had played, I do believe these two Roman troops were actually taken out. You'll see that there are 50 seconds on the clock, so we were definitely close to the victory point. But I defeated one blob here, isn't shown in the replay, which is rather odd, and then I managed to fight off these guys using a blob of troops. Yeah, you see here that there are 30 seconds onto the battle time, and I do believe I gained the battle end results. So just just to kind of prove that I'm not lying about winning this fight, I'll show the statistics for that if they appear. Apparently the stats don't apparently appear, so we'll just have to go with it. So you know what, take what you want from the battle. Apparently the replay doesn't apparently simulate the exact course of the battle once again. So, you can take my word for that, or not, if you so choose. But again, I think the main thing is that if you want to fight the Romans and you want to fight their elite infantry, you gotta defeat them in peace. So you gotta split up their army somehow, one way or another. And I think the breaking point was really getting those Praetorians locked up over here, both the infantry and the cavalry with my Oathsworn over here. I'll see if I can find like a screenshot cap of the battle end result to post in the description below. Not really sure if that is possible though now. But anyhow, see you guys later on.